Coming up in your franchise sports, we'll take a look into the Miami Heat training camp as the team prepares for a season hoping to end with the NBA championship.
And in local sports, FSU's volleyball team was in action over the weekend.
For those stories and more, your franchise sports starts now.
Hey, it's Michael the Playmaker, 87 national champ, 3-time Super Bowl champ, and you're watching Franchise Sports.
Welcome back to another week of franchise sports. Let's kick it off with a little bit of volleyball action. On Tuesday, the fans were in full force to watch the Leon Lions square off against the Childs Timberwolves in high school volleyball action. The Timberwolves were led by Lexi Weldon, who had 19 kills on the night. But the Lions were just too much as they dominated the T-Wolves 3-1, with the final scores of 25-11, 25-17, 22-25, and 25-13. The Lions improved to 11-2 overall.
Just next door, FSU's women's volleyball team were also in action this weekend in a 5-match battle with Virginia Tech. The Noles hammered in a 3-2 win over the Hokies, giving them their 19th straight Atlantic Coast Conference victory. The Seminoles continue ACC play with back-to-back road matches at North Carolina and North Carolina State later this week.
Well, everything didn't go so bad in Atlanta this past weekend as Rattler fans and the men's tennis team captured the HBCU National Championship. The Rattlers swept all 3 single flights as well as both flights of the doubles competition. Led by LaVon Clark and reigning MEAC Rookie of the Year, Takura Happy, FAMU dominated their opponents en route to claiming the HBCU title.
The Florida A&M Rattlers returned to Atlanta over the weekend to face their longtime rivals, the Tennessee Tigers. TSU has lost 8 consecutive games to FAMU in the AFC, including last season's 31-12 loss. Reporter Tamika Johnson has more on the story.
Over 50,000 fans arrived at the 20th annual Atlanta Football Classic as FAMU Rattlers took on the Tennessee State Tigers this past Saturday. TSU started out with a huge play as Preston Brown rumbled through the nest of Rattlers, scoring the first touchdown of the game. The running back ran 72 yards for the first touchdown. Quarterback Jeremy Perry threw a completion for another TSU touchdown. FAMU Rattlers struggled in the first quarter, but managed to squeeze a touchdown in just before the halftime. In the second half, FAMU had another setback and ended up losing the game 29-18. Coach Taylor had this to say about the Rattlers' performance.
Well, we've had some offensive line issues in terms of we've lost 2 guys already. The injury, but I don't know if it's all the offensive line or we couldn't have gotten the ball off a little quicker, but bottom line, don't take anything away from their defensive line. They really put pressure on us. And,
This is Tamika Johnson with Franchise Sports.
In the Noles' first conference game of the season, they faced the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest in what was supposed to be a great game. Wake Forest or the weather delays could not suppress Florida State's dominance as they overpowered their opposition 31-0. Florida State will take their act on the road when they play 2-1 Virginia Saturday at noon. The Noles are confident that quarterback Christian Ponder and company will build on their 485-yard performance against Wake Forest last weekend.
In order to become MEAC champions, you have to beat the reigning champs, and South Carolina State currently holds that title.
Harmless mascot or enemy on the loose. Either way, FAMU authorities say the South Carolina State Bulldog is lurking around campus. Cops say the Bulldog has been adding graffiti to property all over the beautiful campus of Florida A&M and barking boastfully all over the set. Cops did a sweep of the area but were unable to find him. He was last seen barking loudly in front of Lee Hall. Now it's unclear just what will happen if or when the FAMU Rattler catches up to him. Reporting from the Hill, WCVS 880 News.
Well, the decision for the new head baseball coach at Florida A&M has been made. FAMU's Department of Athletics announces the appointment of Brett Richardson as interim head baseball coach. Richardson served as the manager of day-to-day operations for baseball since the departure of coach Robert Lucas ending the 2010 season. Richardson joined the FAMU coaching staff back in 1997 under the direction of coach Joe Durant. He continued under Lucas during his time as assistant. The Rattlers enjoyed success with 6 20-win seasons.
Heading down the map to Gainesville, the University of Florida received a tremendous performance from freshman quarterback Trey Burton, who scored a school record of 6 touchdowns. Breaking the mark set by 2007 Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow as Florida extended its dominance against Kentucky with a 48-14 victory Saturday night. Working mostly from the Wildcat formation, Burton had 5 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving TD. Coming up on Franchise Sports, we'll take a look at what's going on in Major League Baseball. With the playoff season underway, we'll see how your favorite MLB team is shaping out. We'll also have the top 5 plays of the week here on your Franchise Sports. Stay tuned.
Then Jeffrey passed the ball to Chris, who scored the goal.
That's good.
I saw this new skateboard, Dad. I think I'm gonna get it with my birthday money.
Well, that'll be all right.
Hey, John, you know, if you had one of these new vinyl fences, you wouldn't have to paint it.
Yeah, but Bob, this gives Jimmy and I a chance to talk.
Oh.
When you really listen, love is what they'll hear.
But Dad, it's brand new.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
How about your new game? How do you get past level 2?
Level 2? Dad, we need to talk.
Somebody help her!
Come on, deputy! Let's go!
Doing out here?
Dad was just helping me take care of Katie.
You know, runaway stage.
Well, dinner will be ready in a few minutes.
Imagine what a little time can do for your family. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Hey, let's go get in here!
Let's go!
Get in here right now! Got 30 minutes!
Let's go!
For the rest of our lives! Let's go!
Let's go!
So glad we decided to do this.
Well, wasn't that hard?
And the kids love it.
Hey, Dad.
Give your family everything. Give them your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Even when I was a young boy, I knew how important music was to our family.
Stop. Eddie. You're still off key, son.
It broke my heart. Why was I different?
Let's do it again.
My father smiled. Our family is like our music, he told me. There's a part for everybody.
When you really listen, love is what they'll hear. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Hey, let's Let's go. Get in here. Let's go. Get in here right now. Got 30 minutes. Let's go. For the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome back to Franchise Sports. Let's head to Chicago, where the Bears were looking to be the only undefeated team in the NFC in a game against Green Bay on Monday. Monday night's game displayed a battle between quarterbacks Jay Cutler and Aaron Rodgers, who both wanted to continue the season without a blemish on their overall record. Defense would be key late in the game as Brian Urlacher forced a fumble that would lead to Robbie Gould's 19-yard field goal to give the Bears a 20-17 victory. This week in the world of football, it will be the Washington Redskins versus Philly. Michael Vick is scheduled to make his first home game appearance against the rivals, the Redskins. Vick is taking the place of Kevin Kolb as starting quarterback. It was a big week as well for the past quarterback, Donovan McNabb, who came back to town for the first time since the controversial trade that shipped him to a despised NFC opponent.
I'm obviously happy that Don was instrumental in bringing me here, and our paths just went separate ways, and Don's a great quarterback, great competitor, and looking forward to this weekend.
I'm just excited about this opportunity to give us, a chance at getting back on track. And obviously the last 2 weeks have been one that we're obviously upset about, and to step back out on the field and possibly put ourselves at 2-0 in the division.
The Jacksonville Jaguars were in serious need of a quarterback depth after backup QB Luke McCown was lost for the season due to a knee injury. A league source told ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter the Jaguars claimed former Buffalo Bills quarterback Trent Edwards on waivers. Edwards was in his fourth season after being selected by the Bills in the third round of the 2007 draft, where he went 14-18 as a starter. Back in July, there was a big what to do about the Cowboys rookie wide receiver Dez Bryant, who refused to carry pass for fellow wide receiver Roy Williams. It's tradition in the NFL that rookies perform menial tasks for veteran teammates. Bryant's refusal drew up a lot of attention and criticism. Monday night at Papa Brothers Steakhouse, Bryant took the offensive players out. Then Williams invited the defensive players out. By the end of the night, the bill came to over $54,000. I'm glad that wasn't my bill. Hey guys, Tuesday was clinch day in Major League Baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays are headed to the playoffs after Tuesday's 5-0 win over the Baltimore Orioles. Ace David Price pitched 8 solid shutout innings and tremendous defense in the team's victory after the franchise's first 10 seasons of just missing the postseason. Tampa has reached a postseason 2 of the last 3 years. The battle for the division still goes on between them and the New York Yankees.
New York also clinched a spot in the postseason with a 6-1 victory over the Blue Jays in Toronto. New York will make their 15th playoff appearance in the last 16 seasons. The Yankee ace, CC Sabathia, won his 21st game of the season, going 8 in the third inning, scattering 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, striking out 8. Ouch.
The Cincinnati Reds are back in the playoffs for the first time since 1995. Tuesday's 3-2 win over the Astros gave the Reds their first division crown in over a decade. Cincy clinches the NL Central Division on their 22nd game, won at the last at-bat. Reds manager Dusty Baker became the second manager in Major League history to win a division with 3 teams.
Well, it is, man. Jay Bruce, that was the biggest home run, biggest hit of his life. Hopefully we got 3 or 4 more for this year's over with. And, man, I mean, we had a special feeling going into spring training that this is a special group of guys, and special they certainly are.
The Miami Heat opened its 2010 training camp on Tuesday as the team traveled to Eglin Air Force Base in Northwest Florida. Defense has been the #1 focus so far as the team prepares for a tough season, hopefully ending in June with the NBA championship. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and reigning MVP LeBron James anchor a talented Miami roster. The trio says anything less than an NBA title would be a failure for the revamped Miami team.
Whether you're looking to begin or continue your athletic career, intramural sports is just the place for you. The FAMU intramural sports programs underway with their fall season sports, such as 7-on-7 flag football, 3-on-3 basketball, and ultimate frisbee. Franchise reporter Autumn Harris has more on the story.
Florida A&M University's Campus Recreation Center has launched off the first league of flag football. Games will be held every week. The league started September 20th and will be until October 25th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Anti-Meats, a new Rattler, returned an 80-yard touchdown interception pass on last game. The guys had good workout with swifty moves and full throttle energy. All the guys were excited that the Recreation started the league back again, and it won't be the last league they start. This fall, the Recreation Center is bringing a dodgeball league to Gaither Gym, November 1st through the 12th. There will also be a 3-on-3 men's midnight basketball tournament in Gaither Gym, November 18th from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., as well as a softball league for the women, November 8th through December the 2nd, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The FAMU Recreation Center asks that all Rattlers come out and support your fellow Rattler students.
For more information about intramural sports, contact the Intramural and Club Sports Specialist, Tony Burrington at tony.burrington@famu.edu.
After the break, we will take you to the Analyze This portion of the show, where we have two brand new analysts that will square off. And later, we have some up-and-coming games tonight that you might want to check out. We'll be right back with more of your franchise sports.
So, Malcolm, you do know that energy savers last 6 times longer than ordinary light bulbs.
This isn't my room. It's Baron Davis's.
Baron Davis, the basketball player? This is his room?
Yep.
Interesting, because we have Baron Davis right here. Baron, do you live here?
No.
I don't mean that, Baron Davis.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
We can all be more energy efficient. It's easy. Use energy-saving light bulbs. Energy Smart Power Strips. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Learn what you can do today at energy.gov/tink.
Hey, let's go get in here! Let's go! Get in here right now! Got 30 minutes! Let's go! For the rest of our lives! Let's go! Let's go!
They began as rivals. But when it mattered most, they united as one.
This is my ship! Give me all your treasure! And now!
Imagine what a little time can do for your family.
Ah, take that! Ah, missed me!
A message from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Are you confused about the process of buying a new home? The Tallahassee Urban League offers first-time home ownership classes. It is a HUD certifying agency.
I'm so glad that we decided to take those first-time home ownership courses at the Tallahassee Urban League.
It really helped make our dreams come true.
Thanks Tallahassee Urban League.
Sometimes learning to read can be one of the hardest obstacles that a student has to overcome. However, with help, learning to read can be a child's stepping stone to achieving confidence and produce a drive to become something great. If you want to have an impact on the life of a child, come join our team. Literacy volunteers make a difference. Call 850-487-4444 or check out our website at www.literacyvolunteerleon.org.
All right, we're going to do some more Lakers Heat talk. We got Heat fan over here, Lakers fan here. I'm going to start by asking, how many games do the Heat win?
82.
82. 82 out of 82.
Off the top, undefeated, baby.
And,
First perfect season in NBA history.
I'm assuming that you're thinking that the Lakers are going back to the finals at least, right?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to the finals, you know.
All right.
It's nothing to be said, you know. We just get better with time. We like fine wine, man. That's all.
Right, and eventually you got to pull that shit out.
Hey,
I think the rest of the nation, for the most part, would agree with y'all that, you know, it's going to be Heat, Lakers, but I want to know what's going to happen in the finals. So 7-game series, how does it play out?
Heat taking it 7.
7 games?
Well, I don't even see the Heat going to the finals.
Okay,
you know?
if it works out.
I have Boston going in 7 against the Heat, and then we get them in 6. We'll get Boston in 6.
All right.
You know,
I mean,
just because of what Boston has and what Boston has to offer, you know, Miami does not have it. You know, granted they do have Udonis Haslem, who's getting trumped up on some weed charges right now, and they have Dwayne Wade, who's arguably like the best player on their team. I don't think they can get past, you know, Boston's line of defense.
I mean, I honestly believe, you guys lost something very valuable when you lost Jordan Farmar this season. It takes away from you guys' depth at the point guard position. You added Steve Blake, but, I mean, he doesn't provide the same thing that Jordan Farmar provided for your team, which is speed and the ability to stay in front of some of the quicker defenders in the league. Steve Blake has always been a liability on defense, and with him and Derek Fisher as your primary point guard, you guys are going to get raped at that position.
You know, our reason of bringing in Steve Blake, he's a complete point guard. He's a solid point guard. We believe, you know, Jerry Buss believes, you know, Hall of Famer Jerry Buss. We all believe that Steve Blake can play that point guard position very well. And with Shannon Brown and Steve Blake and Sasha Vujacic, we should have no problem. The whole thing is, you know, it's age. You know, the time, like our time is going to soon come to an end. Mm-hmm. So with Derek Fisher, we want to preserve him until the playoff. So, you know, we might cut back on wins or whatever to save our legs before the finals, but at the same time, we'll be ready.
Well, I mean, I believe Pat Riley, a Hall of Famer in his own right, created a roster, you know, that's prepared to take that next step right now. I mean, you guys are saying that you guys have a few more years before your decline is coming. I see your decline coming with the new powerhouse team that the Miami Heat have prepared. With the youth of the NBA and the way that the game is shifting, the game is switching to speed and athleticism. Mm-hmm. And as you see throughout this free agency period, the Heat created the most buzz in generations by picking up the 3 best athletes out of the best draft class possibly in NBA history. They picked the best 3 players that they had to offer, and they put them all on the same team and surrounded them with a bunch of players who are willing to sacrifice money and years to be a part of something special. When you add players like Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Dwayne Wade, Udonis Haslem, LeBron James, Eddie House, and James Jones, all with championship experience, I mean, I don't believe experience will be a factor when it comes time for the later games in the year. When you're going up against the Boston Celtics, you're going to need players with experience and leadership capabilities, which I believe that Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James all have within their own right because they're all coming from 3 separate teams in which they all had to be the primary focus.
You know, and with the same thing, a lot of people gets it like mistaken, and I believe that's when the whole controversy stirred up with the whole Olympic team when they won gold. But people fail to realize that they all came down to Team USA for a common goal. That was to bring gold back to the United States, where it all started. The mecca of basketball is the United States. So by them coming together for those 3-4 months to win gold, you know, a lot of people, like, I guess they're thinking that they can do it for a whole season. Mm-hmm. They knew that after the season, after they won gold, they was going back to their respective season and doing what they was capable of doing. But now you're sticking with these guys for 6 years. I don't think it's going to work. Classic case, the Lakers, when they brought in Malone and Payton. Yeah. You know, they built a dynamic team, but they couldn't get it. They were chasing rings.
A team full of old players. And like you were saying, I mean, yeah, you do bring a team together for a common goal. And I believe the common goal of the Miami Heat is championships. And I believe that any team, if you're trying to win championships, you need to bring the most talented players that you can afford to your team. And it just so happens that the most talented players available were 2 of the top 3 players in the league. And the Heat were able to put that on their team. And they have one of the top 3 big men. They have one of the top big men in the game right now in Chris Bosh, and he's young and still developing his game. I believe that as the time progresses, they will grow together as a cohesive unit, and then they'll be able to play better with each other, sort of like a younger version of the Boston Celtics, giving them chances for other players like Mike Miller, who's often forgotten about, who they brought on the team for his specialty, which is three-point shooting, and all of that.
Yeah, sounds like Pat Riley's going to have his hands full this fall. That'll be all for Franchise Sports. Thank you.
Welcome back. Let's kick off our top plays of the week, starting with play number 5. In the end of the second quarter, the Packers are up by 10 in the game when Jay Cutler threads the needle to Greg Olsen for the 9-yard touchdown to go in the half. Wow, look at that catch.
And play number 4.
Bengals on the board for a second quarter, some special teams. Patrick Peterson fielding the punt, and he has some open field in front of him, going 60 yards for the score. LSU had a commanding 17-0 advantage, but the Mountaineers fight back.
Let's go to play number 3. The Marlins' Dan Ugla with a shot to the third, but the Braves' Martin Prado makes the great diving catch for the out. Take another look as Prado lays out to make the incredible backhanded stab, and he also picks up our number 3 play of the week.
Let's head back to Chicago for play number 2. In the second half, after not scoring a punt return in his last 31 games, Devin Hester finds the seam and returns the punt 62 yards for his first punt return touchdown in 2 years.
Jay Bruce leading off the inning. He takes the first pitch he sees to deep center field. It's way back and over the wall for the walk-off home run. Jay Bruce gets the first play of the day, and the Reds clinch the NL Central. Bruce earns our Franchise Sports top play of the week.
Well, that's it for all of us here at Franchise Sports. Be sure to tune into us next week for more of your sports highlight. I'm Elliot Kadee.
I'm Abby Ackenbar.
And I'm Ashley Doss. Good night, sports fans.
Good night.
You want